I'd like to share with you first a passage that brought me to the Lord years ago. It's Isaiah chapter 53, and I decided to memorize it. And the thing is when I started practicing, I realized, I forgot about this. You can still hear me anyway. Okay, I realized that I remembered various different versions. So hopefully I'll get the right one down, but you'll get the gist of it, hopefully. Isaiah 53 is just the climax, I think, of the Old Testament, just focusing on who the Messiah really is. And if you read through the first chapters 40 to 55 or so, it develops a theme of this servant, this suffering servant. And finally climaxes on Isaiah 53. And it actually starts in Isaiah 52:13. The verses aren't inspired. The verse number is. So I'll start that with you, and then I'll sing a song that's similar, that fits with the passage. It's broken up into 5 different parts. First, it starts off with the summary of the accomplishments of the servant. Then, the distant outreach of the servant's accomplishments. Then it goes over the changing perception of local observers. Then, the perfect servant's silent submission. And then finally, the fulfillment of God's purpose. That's okay. Okay. Behold, my servant will prosper or do wisely. He will be high and lifted up and made very high. Just as many were astounded at you, so marred was his appearance from that of a man, and his form from the sons of men. So he will sprinkle many nations. Kings will shut their mouths because of him. For what had not been told them, they will see. And what they had not heard, they will understand. Who would believe what we have heard? And to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? For he grew up before him like a tender plant and like a root out of parched ground. He had no stately form or majesty that we should look upon him, and no beauty that we should desire him. He was despised and forsaken of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with suffering. And like one whom men hide their faces, he was despised, but we did not esteem him. He did indeed bear our pains and take away our diseases. Yet we thought him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement that brought us peace was upon him. And by his scourging, we are healed. All we, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us has turned to his own way. But the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. As a lamb being laid to the slaughter, as the sheep silent before its shearers, he did not open his mouth. By oppressive judgment he was taken away. And who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. The transgression of my people, to whom the stroke was due. His grave was assigned with wicked men, yet he was with a rich man in his death, because he had done no violence. And there was no deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him, putting him to grief. When he makes himself a guilt offering, he will see his offspring, and he will prolong his days. And the pleasure of the Lord will prosper in his hands. He will see the result of the travail of his soul and be satisfied. By the knowledge of himself will my righteous servant justify many, for he will bear their iniquities. Therefore I will divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he poured out himself unto death, was numbered with the transgressors, bore the sin of many, and will make intercession